if your bank account is empty because you haven't eaten and your adrenals are totally burnt out, your hormones will always be off. They will always be off. And hormones are so important for many different reasons. One of the things that hormones do, and this brings us back to when you were talking about, say, someone that's in menopause, hormones are very modulating to stress. They help dampen the stress response. Anyone that's ever, been in a relationship with a man where they come home and they kind of zone out at the end of the day and they're done, that's the testosterone. It's like work, 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 done. Whereas women we have the estrogen, we have the progesterone. That's the nurturing hormone. We're like, oh, I'll make dinner. Oh, do you want me to bake something? Oh, do I have to run out to the store for my kid's project that's due tomorrow? We just
they'll tell you about at 8 p.m. Oh yeah, I have a thing due.
Yeah, we just
Okay.
keep. Yeah,
I guess we're going to Target. Yeah.
yeah. That's our progesterone and our estrogen, that nurturing, I can keep going hormones, helping us dampen that stress response. So we're like, sure, I'm tired, but I'll keep going. When we hit menopause and we start to lose those hormones, there's nothing blunting the stress response. So oftentimes we'll feel more stressed.
Whoa.
So
Amazing.
at
Yeah,
that
that makes
point,
sense.
with the fasting, you go, I always say the person who's going to be the best suited for fasting in any form is someone that is insulin resistant or diabetic, has low stress, their hormones are really stable, they're a great sleeper. The
Oh,
person,
that's a good checklist.
right, the person that's going to maybe probably be the least candidate for fasting is someone that has low blood sugar, or what we call reactive hypoglycemia, that is has a ton of stress in their life, that feels anxiety, that has some sort of a hormone imbalance, or maybe they're perimenopausal or menopausal, or is not sleeping. You're not falling asleep or you're not staying asleep. This may be the the ingredients for the perfect storm for you. Fasting, you might not get the same benefits for fasting. And I say take it with a grain of salt. I will always have the patient where I'm like, what do you think about fasting? And I'm like, I don't know if it's for you. And they're like, I feel amazing. And their weight shifts and everything
Sure.
works. I'm like, great. We're all our own experiment. You have to try it for yourself.
Right.
Oftentimes I'll have someone start fasting and maybe they feel more anxiety or they notice they're not sleeping as well. I'm like, we didn't have enough blood sugar balance. We didn't have that checking account filled enough. We didn't have enough adrenals or that savings account balanced enough to do fasting the way our body's intended it to, because we're already depleted.
So could somebody, let's say, do great with fasting and then they've lost the weight or they've balanced their insulin and then all of a sudden they're just not, and they don't know what's going. Have you heard that before? About, because I feel like I've heard of people being like, it used to work and now I just don't like it, but I still have 10 to 20 pounds to lose. So they're trying to do the fasting to get rid of. So what do you recommend for somebody who has enjoyed a fasting focused lifestyle and now it's not working, quote unquote, for them?
That's when labs become really helpful to actually measure
Yeah. Case by case.
what's going on in the body. What do your hormones look like? What does your cortisol look like? What is your hemoglobin A1C, that blood sugar marker? What's actually going on with your labs. But for sure, like I said, there's a spectrum where fasting is very therapeutic when you have more weight or you maybe are insulin resistant. And then as your body starts to get healthier, it can be a tipping point where it's not as helpful. And then you have to go back to, the basics, which are sort of 3 meals a day, still doing all of your really healthful meals, but maybe increasing your exercise, looking a little bit deeper into your blood sugar or your adrenals if there's anything else you can support there.